The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Sahai, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. National Wheat and Maize Conference commences today. Meeting of national organizations in Arab Emirates. Russian Defense Ministry Sergei Shoigu arriving in Iran. And U.S. is planning to open new Space Air Force Command post in Japan. On our local news, National Wheat and Maize Conference commences today, 20th September, at Asmara Palace Hotel under the theme Strong Effort to Ensure Improved Wheat and Maize Seeds. The opening event of the conference was attended by ministers, regional administrators, other government and PFDJ officials, as well as members of diplomatic community and representatives of various countries and the UN offices. In his keynote address, Mr. Arafina Berhe, Minister of Agriculture, said that wheat and maize have been an integral part of civilization for centuries, nourishing a large part of humanity for their humble grain that are known for their nutritional value, adaptation of diverse climate with minimal requirement for water and input, and that objective of the conference is to address the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead in cultivation and utilization of the crops. Minister Arafina also said that empowering small-scale farmers, particularly women and youth, is crucial for the future of wheat and maize farming, with providing access to finance, training, information and resources with a view to enhance their productivity, livelihoods and overall well-being. Minister Arafina also commended the organization committee and Asmara Palace management for a job well done. At the conference, research papers were presented focusing on wheat production in Eritrea and future trends with production in breeding in Africa, current status and future prospects, hybrid maize, seed production technology in Eritrea, breeding and development, climate resistance maize varieties in sub-Saharan Africa, water and nutrition demands management practices, and wheat production in Eritrea, among others. And the participants conducted extensive discussion on the research papers presented. At the conference will continue until 22nd September. Experts from Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Cameroon, Zambia, Ireland and India are representatives from agricultural research organizations and institutions took part. A meeting of national organizations in Arab Emirates was conducted in Abu Dhabi on 17 September. The meeting, in which representatives of the national organization took part, was focused on measures that should be taken to strengthen organizational capacity of Eritrean community, PFDJ and the National Union of Eritrean Women. At the meeting, it was reported that election of executive committee of all national organizations will take part in the future. At the meeting, Mr. Tasfu Gabratinsae, head of the Public and Community Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy, gave extensive briefing on the objective situation in the homeland. An activity assessment meeting on progress of teaching and learning process of 2022 and 2023 academic year was organized in Haga subzone. The meeting covered a wide range of topics, including the impact of community on teaching and learning process in the state schools infrastructure, the reason why students leave school, the distance between schools, the impact of lack of village regrouping in teaching and learning process, sports and agricultural activities, and more. The reports during the conference stated the enrollment of schools has gone up by 10%, and 83% of elementary, 66% of junior, and 47% of high school students have advanced to the next grade. The great effort will be made to enhance the outcome of the high school students and build their relationships between students, parents, and instructors, according to Mr. Idris Abdu, head of the Education Office in the subzone, who delivered the report to success made and obstacles faced. Mr. Kiflay Ande Mikael, head of the Educational Office in Ansaba region, praised the effort being made in collaboration between Eritrea, the Ministry of Education, administrations and stakeholders to develop teaching and learning process, and stated that priority will be given to organize a training program for teachers in order to increase the competitiveness of students. Dear viewers, we'll be back with the international news shortly. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu arrived in Iran on Tuesday for a meeting to deepen Moscow defense ties with Tehran, Russia's news agency reported. Moscow has sought to strengthen its allies with other countries, detested by West, including Iran, which has supplied Moscow with attack drones for its offensive in Ukraine. During the visit, the Russian Defense Ministry delegation will hold a number of talks with the Republic's military leadership, the ministry said, according to the statement carried by Russian news agencies. This visit will contribute to strengthening Russian-Iran military ties and will be an important stage in the development of cooperation between the two countries, it added. Shoigu's trip comes during the 4-day visit to Moscow from China's foreign minister and after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un traveled by a train to Russia's Far East for several days. On our last news, the United States Space Force is planning to set up a new command post in Japan to enhance its space capabilities in Indo-Pacific region, in which analysis warned could risk fueling the space race with China. The command post in Japan will be a third its kind in the Indo-Pacific region following establishment of similar sites in Hawaii and South Korea last year. Major Charles Taylor, Deputy Commander of Space Forces in Korea, told Stars and Stripers that a small number of Space Force members, known as Guardians, have already been deployed in Japan. Taylor refrains from disclosing a location of the new command post or the number of personnel who would be stationed there. Last month at Camp David, President Biden hosted a leader of South Korea and Japan. Three nations agreed to increase space cooperation. Chinese military experts have warned that the establishment of the Space Force posts in East Asia is likely to intensify the space race between U.S. and China. The United States has made China the centerpiece of its national security policy and increased the tempos of drills with allies in the region. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. National Wheat and Maize Conference commences today. Meeting of the national organizations in Arab Emirates. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu arriving in Iran. And U.S. plans to open a new Space Force command post in Japan. That is all with our local and international viewers. Thanks for watching and have a good night.